There it is, and we have started. See, I told you I don't have an intro, so we're just going to do this way. I'm
Okay.
Tarot's Apprentice. This is Soul Print Intuitive Tarot. Say hi.
Hi,
That's all
everybody.
she
I'm
wanted to say.
delighted to be with Johnny.
So we are going to take a look at Canadian elections are coming up on October 21st. So we have a month or two, basically, to get this so much better than 2 years like we do ours. But Canadian elections are coming up, or not coming up, but they're in October. And we are going to take a look at Scheer and Trudeau. And then we're going to end with the good old William Barr throwing a $30,000 party at Trump Hotel.
And you can bet none of us are getting invited to that party either.
I'm sure we paid for it.
Yes, we
So,
are.
Canadian elections, Andrew Scheer, I'll let you take and give some information on that one, and then we'll go in with the readings.
Okay, so at this point, we have Trudeau with the Liberal Party. He has lost, some ground lately. That investigation wasn't really a high point in his career. I think in some ways, Trudeau has probably a stronger reputation internationally than he does in Canada. Scheer is a part of it. He's the Conservative Party, and he's a concern just because he really, in a lot of ways, is a baby Trump. Now we have a third party. Well, we actually have four. We have the Green Party, plus we have the NDP. The NDP have basically said that if Scheer forms the government, they will not support him, which means that the NDP and the Liberals are likely to form a unit for the purpose of this functioning government going forward. So, what does that look like? How does that work?
Which
That's,
means they'll have a lame government, which will get nothing done with Scheer at the top. And then the NDP is the new Democratic Party. So they'll have at odds with the government, kind of like we had with Obama and the Republicans on the other side.
yeah.
So nothing will get done. Maybe nothing will get done, and that's not a bad thing because it's sheer. But then again, you're not really doing anything for the people of Canada.
Yeah.
So,
I defer to you.
let's see. Let's take a look at the possibility of him winning first. His first card is the Two of Swords. A little peek at his outcome is the Queen of Swords. So, with the Two of Swords, he gets the High Priestess. So there is something completely unclear about him because people are a bit. Some are a little trepidatious about Trudeau because it may seem that he's going down the wrong road, but to turn to Andrew Scheer would probably be something they can't see themselves doing. So there's a little inner conflict within the voter, and then there is I don't really know this guy well enough to entrust him with a whole country type of thing. So he's fighting perception, is what it sounds like. There's the King of Pentacles, so some may see him that way. But there is a new action with the Ace of Wands, and there is a Tower. Let's clarify the Tower. So his steam is starting to run out for some reason. I'm not sure why, but he had I read a lot of statements he made, especially when Trudeau was kind of going through his storm. That was the time to pounce, and he did. But it's not really holding very well. Not like he wants it to. There's donors to him that may be pulling back. I don't know, maybe they see the winds coming out of his sail. That's strange to see. The Emperor is in his fear. There's your Trudeau. In his hopes is the new emotions, the new good news of emotions. The yay, I won. I wake up as the Prime Minister. In his environments, he's having trouble balancing something, and I don't think it's his campaign. Behind the scenes is a moneyed woman, or the Queen of Pentacles, or someone who is probably on his staff or more stable. So he might be having some internal problems. His warning is the world. So he may be coming near a completion. I think for whatever reason, I just think the wind is coming out of his sail. I really do. Hardship is his solace. As I say, God answers all prayers. Sometimes the answer is no. So there didn't seem to be any solace for you. But you do have money from somewhere that you don't pretty much have to worry about money as far as your campaign goes. It's more of a stability thing. But I think the wind is coming out of his sail. So Trudeau may be okay, and there may be no need for the whole NDP to come against him, but should he get in, that will be interesting. What did you get on him?
All right, I'm going to flip my cards open and see what I find.
I got the Fool on the bottom.
Okay, so I'm starting with the Moon and the Three of Hearts. So clearly something is behind the scenes, something is being covered up, and it's going to hurt Sheer. And the reason I'm saying this applies to Sheer is because he is the lesser known quality. So there's definitely trouble for him on the horizon. And we've got the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So again, this election in Canada is going to be really emotional because it's sort of going to boil down to this. You have people who want the Conservative government to take over. And I agree, he is not a well-known commodity at this point. And if he's not careful, he's going to antagonize people more than, become they're not going to become his cheering squad. There's going to be a lot more just intensity with this election. And I think part of it is because okay, so this is it, right? When you think Trudeau, you think Marcon. When you think Scheer, you think Trump. So there is that instinctive push and pull where people, they might like what he's saying, but they're not sure he's going to be able to carry it off. Interestingly, I've also gotten the Ace of Wands here. So there's going to be a change in tactics, in the tricks that people use. I would not be surprised to see that this election got a little bit more nasty. Yeah. And like, it hasn't started yet. We only have a 6-week election cycle in this country, praise God. And so it's the crazy has not yet started here. So that's why this is a good time to take a look at it. I'm going to cut the deck here, and I'm just going to take 2 cards off the top. Interesting. It's interesting the cards that we're getting that are, similar. So this is what I'm going to read this as. We've got a decision coming up, and it's 2 sides of the same, it boils down to Scheer Trudeau. The NDP are not going to make any significant gains, and it's not looking as if it's looking as if the best result for the country is on its way to us. Now, question is, who's figuring out what the best result for this country looks like? Well, that's our one choice. Mm-hmm. That goes with that card. And let me cut one more time. Oh my. Okay, so literally, one is going to take us down the wrong path, and the other one is going to give us hope. So I guess at this point, Canadians need to make some decisions about whether they want to remain strong and a positive influence on the world stage, or whether they would kind of like to hide in the dark and put our light under a barrel.
Yeah, we have a tendency, especially here, to vote against our own interests.
And
And
we have a tendency in Canada to vote people out. It's terrible, right? You pissed me off. I don't like you. You're gone. Sometimes
yeah,
we don't pay a whole heck of a lot of attention to what's coming in,
yeah,
which frankly is how the NDP keep getting elected in strange places, because people were so angry with the previous government, they just vote the NDP in, and the NDP has some great stuff going for them, except that God Almighty, they love to spend money at an alarming rate.
mm.
So there we have it. I guess we're going to have to check back on this one in a few weeks and see what's going on.
You want to do just a basic outcome to see who's going to win?
You can try for sure. Go ahead.
What is Trudeau? He's the air sign? He's an earth sign, isn't he? I forget.
I'm believing. I don't know.
I looked it up once.
I don't know what either of their signs are.
Well, he comes up as the emperor for me anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 5 cards. Full on the bottom again. So I have the 6 of Pentacles. The Chariot. So somebody's winning. The Government. There's the Hierophant. The Ace of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles. Or 4 of Cups is what that was. Justice. I think it is it's a self-interest thing. I think if they stick with their current government, as in Trudeau,
Okay.
it's not ideal for some, but it's better than others. And so I think that's the way it will lean. I've seen him possibly going out, but I think there is some balance happening, especially when it comes to pipelines and things. And this Amazon thing may have sort of reinvigorated people's idea of the environment. So I think he may gain some steam, especially since I see Andrew losing some. They just may stick with Trudeau. And then the next card was the Emperor. So I think he'll be okay.
Okay, so what I've done is I have laid out 5 cards for each person to basically just see who comes out ahead. So for Trudeau, I have the 10 of Cups, I have the Star, I have the Ace of Wands, and I have the King of Swords, 3 of Hearts, and Knight of Cups. So I'm looking at this and saying he's in a good position. He has promised that he can sort of unite things again. He's not going to lose a whole lot internationally. I think his reputation will stay strong. And for some Canadians, that's going to bode well. So I'm saying that Trudeau is definitely in good shape right now. Okay. Scheer, his first card was the 8 of Swords. So not a position I would want to be in. And we've got the Page of Cups. So, I'm interpreting that again as him saying things that get people's emotions whipped up, and not necessarily, frankly, in a good way. He has the Knight of Pentacles. So I suspect that there could be some kind of money dealings going on that maybe, again, don't show him in the best light. I have the Fool, which just makes me snicker because, of course, this is like one of my cards for Trump, and he is, kind of close to that. I think he's got heartbreak coming, and I think Trudeau is just going to come out ahead on this. Right? He's got such.
Get better.
Better, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it sits as of right now.
Well, that's kind of. I mean, I like Trudeau, and I just hate to read on him half the time because the worst stuff seems to come out and say, "Oh God."
And everybody likes, certainly younger people. I mean, I have 2 early teenage daughters. And they both like him. And part of it is because he's more relatable. Part of
Yeah.
it is he seems to understand some of the challenges that millennial generations got going, and there's a lot, and they're hard. And um, he's just personable, and we like the reputation and the way he shows off Canada internationally.
That's what I like about him. He does not seem to be jerkish when he goes other places. He carries himself. See, I first liked him simply because, and it's probably bad to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I liked him because Obama liked him.
Mhm.
And then once you sort of start to watch him, then you say, I can see why Obama liked him.
Yeah.
Because he seems like a nice guy. He carries himself well. He's not aggressive. He's not abrasive. He's not like, Cheeto Mussolini we have now. So it's a good thing to
Yeah.
see him, but it was just an odd thing to read him.
Yeah. Sorry, and I have a garbage truck going by right in front of me, so I apologize for any noise. And the bonus thing about Trudeau is he's got a very cool sock collection.
Yes, he does.
And that cannot be, that cannot be undermined. I mean, that's important.
And I know how he wears suits to come right above where when he sits down, his socks show.
Yes.
I used to hate that when I had to wear a suit. It's like I don't want my socks showing, and my socks are black, so you couldn't see them anyway. But I
But
used to
you've got cool socks. You should show them off.
hate that. So from socks to feet, William Barr is throwing a $30,000 party at Trump's hotel in D.C. Where did he get this money from? How can he afford to throw a $30,000 party? I mean, I know he's been in this powerful position for a minute now, and I'm sure he's probably saved a coin or two throughout his life, but $30,000 for one party? Yeah. Where did you get that money from? I just want to know. That's all. I just want to know. And it goes into the pocket of the president. That's what makes it worse. Is this a inauguration type thing to where people have to pay $1,000 a plate and then it all goes into Trump's pocket anyway? What's about this party?
Yeah, what are they calling it? A holiday party. What
I
are
think
who's
so.
the holiday for? Trump family, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
Hey,
he's going
hey,
on the next
Johnny.
camping
This
trip.
is just sort of the opening salvo in the G20 at Doral.
Yeah.
It's G7 at Doral, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they figure if everybody kind of gets used to the fact that Barr throws a party, then it won't be so bad when Trump forces the G7 to take place there next year.
It's a mess. So, my first card is Temperance. There's some teamwork somewhere. This is not simply because they want to have a good time. A little peek at the outcome is the Ace of Wands. There's a new action. So, with the Temperance, we got the Ten of Cups. This is a bigger thing. This is not just a get together for food and drink. So, this is not just a fundraiser either. It's something different. So, let's see. I mean, I swear I picked it at random. I swear I did. It's the devil sits on top of the cooperation and the family function. There is some greed here. There is some I want, I need, I gotta have coming from somewhere. From Barr. And then this is my card for the Republicans because usually people use this one for the Republicans, the Grand Old Party. But I use this one because it's attached to money. And it seems to be what they care about more often than harmony and peace. So there is the Republicans at the bottom. So this is masked maybe as a campaign thing, not campaign, but fundraiser or RNC thing or something to do connected with the Republicans, not with Donald Trump. But it didn't show up for no reason. So On top of that is the Nine of Wands. So the uphill battle, the battle weary, the climbing the hill, getting to the point to where they're trying to reach a total, basically. They have a goal. There is justice and balance, coupled with Eight of Wands. To me, this what happens when you communicate with certain people and then you talk about certain things. What I call lobbying and buying votes is when you have all these type of cards, these communications and monies and balance and justice. I need you to see things my way when you go in your courtroom. I need you to see things my way when you're on the Supreme Court. I need you to see things my way if I nominate you for this district and that district. So there's some communications with those higher up. So they get invited. You didn't get invited for no reason. We have to address this. So that's what they're there for. The fear is the Knight of Cups. This is the good offers, but they look better than they are. So someone probably hopes for the best, of course, but you don't always get it because this horse isn't actually moving. So there's no deliverance of anything. It's just telling you, I'm going to give it to you. And the hopes is the Five of Cups. Now, why would this be a hope? It's a regret and a sorrow. You think, oh, well, I don't really want regret and sorrow. But what you do want is a distraction. Look at the Three Cups, not the two behind you. I have something here that you should pay attention to because it's all spilled and woe is me. Meanwhile, the Two Cups behind you is what you were really aiming for in the first place. There is some hard work and burden in the environment. Pimping ain't easy, as they say. Two of Wands. There's some business. That's what's going on behind that. Some business, some commerce. Your word of warning. It ends in failure, but it ends in a loss. So when you call the devil by name, you have to be prepared to entertain. So once he shows up, he does take. I know he brings you what you think you want, but he takes as well. So they're going to lose something. And it may be because September holds financial information for everybody. And so you may not be able to execute whatever this plan is you think you got going on. This is your solace. So we are in right now. We are in the stages of fundraising. For the celebrated person, there is a new action. So this is the point of the party. For whoever the celebrated person is, Donald Trump, whoever that is, this is the point of this whole thing. It's not for anybody else. Hold the party. Don't invite me. I'm overseas. They can't say I was doing anything wrong. Meanwhile, take all the money you can. And that's what I get.
Okay. So I'm going to take a look at this directly from Barr. What is Barr getting out of it? What is his perspective and what is his motivation? So let's see. Okay, well, as usual, when it comes to Barr, he's kind of in a heap of trouble here, right? We've got the Ten of Swords, and we've got the Nine of Wands, and we've got strength in the middle. And that has always been part of Barr's problem, right? Is he doesn't listen. He listens to other people. He just doesn't take what they say actually into consideration. His thoughts. He believes that he is the strongest and the most clear thinking, and it keeps on getting him kind of trapped and kind of caught. And he's forever in a position where he has to explain himself, and that only antagonizes and aggravates him more because he just doesn't think he should be questioned. Oh boy. Okay. We've got the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Swords. So this feels very much like this was not honestly even his idea. This was, I'm telling you this is going to happen and this is what it's going to look like, and it doesn't matter if that stresses you out or upsets you or wrecks your reputation. You're playing ball with the big guys now, and the big guys want what the big guys want. A lot of defensive posture. It's all about the money. And guess what happens? William Barr is going to actually ultimately end up suffering a really unfortunate departure. It's not going to end up well for him. It's whatever he has now is going to be completely in tatters. He has done this for the money. He has sold himself for the money, and it is going to be ultimately the money that trips him up and gets him into trouble.
Financial, all of
Yeah,
them.
it just always is. It's craziness.
Cheaters never prosper, as they say. Well, thank you very much for doing this with me.
And thank you for doing it with me. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
And so we're gonna you're gonna do yours today. Post your video today. So go over to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot,
Mhm.
YouTube. Watch it there. Come over, watch it here. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye. Your support is absolutely appreciated. Be well.